Hello guys, my name is Steven Ma. I am the CEO of ThinkTank Learning. I'm also a senior consultant here who has helped students get into the school of their dreams for the past 16 years. And well, it's great to meeting you online, and one of the reasons I'm doing this is to shed some light on your college admission result, in particular college early decision result or the early action result. The fact that you're watching this video probably means that you have applied to early action or early decision and likely not get an admission outright. If you were to be admitted, probably you won't be watching this video. You'll be like, oh yeah, I'm home free. So let's talk about what happened now. What happened now that you did not get an admission. Now you hear me say did not get admission rather than getting rejection, right? Because there are two possibilities that you will have when you apply. I mean, actually three possibilities you will have when you apply for early decision or early action. You can either be admitted outright, and in that case, congratulations. Secondly, you can be rejected outright. Okay, that tends to be the majority of the case statistically. Or you will be deferred. So let's talk about each of the scenario. Well, we don't have to talk too much about the admission. If you were to be admitted by early decision, just make sure you withdraw application from your other college that you intended to do a regular decision. Now, what happens if you get deferred? What does it mean to get deferred? Well, deferment means that your profile was not chosen to be admitted, but your profile was strong enough they want to have a second look. So what they are going to do is they are going to take your file, your application, move it from the early decision pool or early action pool, and wait till everybody else's regular application come in and put you in that pool along with them. So you will get a second chance. You will get to look over it again. Your application will get looked at again and compare against other regular decision applicants. And then you will get a result again, sometimes either next March or April. Okay, so that's what deferment means. It means you have your second chance. Well, in case if you got a flat rejection, then that means you're done for that school and you are not going to be applied again for this admission season. Yeah, question might be, oh, can I apply in regular decision again if I got rejected by the program's early decision? The answer most likely is no. Basically, a rejection for early decision means school says, hey, we look at your profile and now we decide not to want you. Okay, so that's that. Move on. So, are there things you can do if you were to be rejected or if you were to be deferred? Well, yes, there are quite a few things that you can actually do to enhance your chance of admission if you were to be deferred. A couple of things. One thing that we recommend students to write a deferral letter. What is deferral letter? Well, some people call it, letter of intent. Some people call it letter of enthusiasm. Basically, write a letter to the school and restating your, determination or passion of going to that school, essentially, and update with them any kind of information you have had since you apply. Well, likely not, but in case you do, because some students, some seniors, they got into some competitions or tournaments and they didn't get a award in time when they applied early decision, and then later they got the awards. It doesn't happen a lot. Okay, so three things can go into this letter of intent or letter of enthusiasm. Number one, reiterating your desire to attend the school is important. That even though it sounds like a moot point, but it's not, because not many people do that. So when you do that, it shows the extra mile that you're willing to walk to that school, and school might just take your seriousness into a consideration. Number two, update them with any kind of new development you have, accomplishment, awards, but major things, not small things, right? You don't need to tell them, hey, look, I took one extra AP class. That's not going to help you. Number three, which in my opinion, the most important, is don't doubt yourself. Don't overread into the admission result. Okay, I know a lot of students when they got that first rejection from early decision, this is like a world's class, right? It's like, what did I do? I must have done something majorly wrong. Should I rewrite my essay? Should I? So start self-doubting, and self-doubting in that last 2 weeks of your admission season is not going to be that helpful. In fact, it's going to throw you off your game. Chances are you're not just you are admitted because statistics, they said that only about 20% of people who apply early decision got in, fresh out of bat. So it is normal for you to be deferred or rejected. Do bear in mind, 80% or more of the people who apply early decision are either rejected or deferred. Only less than 20% are admitted outright. So, it's actually normal for you to be rejected, especially if you're not a legacy student, if you are not donor affiliated, because in the early decision application pool, a lot of legacy students apply using that channel. So when you are not, when you are a one without connections sort of way, it's really not your fault. It's just that you are being pitted against the big player with connections and legacies. I don't like to say that, but it's not fair. College admission is never fair in the U.S. and it's a game of selection. It's never a game of equity. Okay, so don't overread into the result. You don't need to go back to your essays. Oh, I need to rewrite the entire essay. Oh, but do check your application to see if you miss anything. Did I not mention this? Was my GPA wrong? But definitely check this though. Okay, check to see if school receive all the documentation. That is important. I've seen students who did everything right. Submitted everything on time, but then his teacher forgot to submit his recommendation. His school forgot to send in his transcript. So missing information, basically. Missing information will become a major problem, and it's going to cause a rejection. Literally, basically, you're not qualified. And some school have the courtesy to tell you, hey, we've missed this. We still need this information from you. We're missing this information. While others would just say, you're rejected, not even telling you why you're rejected, right? So instead of worrying about your essay, how you should write a different story, do check the factual stuff. This is just the easy stuff. Make sure school did receive everything. Call the school that rejected you and find out if they received all the information. Because why? Most people now, they use either common application or coalition application, right? So when the professors or teachers or school not sent the documentation that they're supposed to, it's more likely that it's more than that particular school not receiving the information. It's more like the whole array of school that you apply to did not receive your complete application material. So that's important. Okay? So 3 things, let me recap. Number 1, write a letter of enthusiasm or letter of intent. Telling them about, you're sharing them about your passion and determination, you want to go to that school. Update them with any major significant development in your life. Number 2, do not, actually it should be number 3, you don't need to worry too much about, your self-doubting your own essays and application material strategy, but do check to make sure that the school receive all the application material. That's important. Okay. Lastly, do apply broadly. Okay, meaning that apply to a few more schools. Okay, and here's the reason why. This entire college admissions game is really a game of statistics. Okay, so I mean it sounds very insensitive, but you are just a number to them, right? I mean, take Cornell for instance. She received over 40,000 applications a year. UCLA received over 100,000 applications a year, and to each of those applications is a life behind the application, just like you. And to each one of you, you feel this is your whole life, but in the eyes of the system, you are just a number. So it makes sense if you apply it broadly. For instance, if statistically you have if you have a 50% chance of admission to one school, and if you were to apply two such schools, each having 50% admission, then the chance of you being rejected by both is 25% statistically speaking, right? And as statistics go, the more number you have in the sample, the more of school you apply, the more accurate the statistics is going to be. So I know a lot of parents and teachers that might tell you that don't need to apply that many schools, and they might be appalled to it. Why you apply to 15 schools? But time is different. Okay, when I went to high school, when I went to college, when your teachers and parents went to school, when we need to apply for college, we had to use typewriter and type out the paper application and make photocopies of all of our application materials. But time has changed, right? We use now internet tool to apply. UC has UC app application tool. Common App has its application tool. Coalition is an application tool. I mean, those application tool enables you the power to duplicate application to many schools. Okay, so do apply broadly, and to a certain point, after 6, 7 application, you will find out that most of the application essay recycles anyway. You don't have to generate that many new materials for each additional application. I guess the only thing you really have to put efforts and time to answer the question is the why us essay, right? And not even that. Not even a lot of school will ask why us essay. So apply broadly, and I would say apply 10, 12 applications is fine. But you just have to make sure that your teachers will send their recommendation accordingly, that your school counselor will send their transcript accordingly. Okay? So, quick recap. Number 1, write a letter of deferral or letter of enthusiasm stating your desire to go to that school if you're deferred. Update them any major significant information, new development that you might have since you applied. Number 2, do not dwell in self-loathing on your application strategy and essay. Chances are that you were not admitted because that's the norm, right? Number 3, apply broadly and check your teachers, making sure that all the application material are set. Alright, so I wish you the best, and I look forward to seeing you again online, and I hope that everybody will have a sweet outcome after all. Thank you. Have a nice day. Happy holiday.